December 18th, I got shipped up to Terrace Emergency Hospital because after I had my miscarriage, I was still carrying the afterbirth in me, and it was poisoning my blood and poisoning my body. So the doctors had to operate on me and get it out and stop the bleeding because I was bleeding to death for a week. Before I got on the operating table, from how much blood I was losing and my blood pressure going down and my pulse going down, my body went into shock and I couldn't stop shaking for a very long time. Then 2 angels showed up in the operating room and Jesus showed up too. Then I started to feel a little bit better. I started praying in my heart and asked Jesus to bless the doctors and bless everyone in the room that's gonna help me. Then my body slowly started coming out of shock. Then I was able to get enough strength and energy to get up on the operating table. Then when I got up, then I lay down, they put that mask on me, so they said I could sleep, so I won't be awake during the surgery. Then during my surgery, I lost way too much blood. My blood count was way down. And I ended up passing away on the table. The awesome thing though is when I died, I got to go to heaven. I was greeted by 4 people. I was greeted by my son Jay, the one who I lost during my miscarriage. The second one I was greeted by was my Auntie Fran Johnson, my mom's sister that passed away. And the third one that I was greeted by was my Granny Edna Green, and I never ever got to meet her because my mom was a teenager when she died. When I was up in heaven, when I got to see them, my son came running up to me and he was saying, "Mommy, Mommy." Then I went running up to him, I hugged him, and I said, "Son," and he said, "I love you, Mommy." I told him, I said, "I love you too, Jay." Then we started walking. Then I was happy to see Auntie Fran. Then she was telling me every now and then they're allowed to look down on us from heaven. And she was telling me how proud she is of my mom and dad getting back together and working things out. Then when I looked at Granny Edna, and I said, "You're my Granny Edna?" And she smiled at me and put her head to her shoulders and she said yes. I felt so much peace up there. I didn't want to come back. I told Jesus, I said, "I want to stay here." I said, "It's so nice and peaceful. There's no pain." He told me, he said, "It's not your time, you gotta go back." I started begging him, I said, "No," I said, "I want to stay here." Then he said, "It's not your time, you gotta go back." And I said, okay. Then before he sent me back, he said, I want you to give 2 messages. He goes, one personal one to your dad, and one for everybody to hear. And I said, okay. I said, I'll do that. He told me, he said, tell your dad that I'm proud of him. Don't lose your faith. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. Keep up what you're doing. I said, okay. I said, I'll tell him. Then he told me the second one. He said, tell my people that I love them and I'm coming back soon. And when I heard that, I got so excited, and I was waving my arms around, and I was all excited. I said, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? He said, I can't tell you. Then he said, tell my people I love them, and I'm coming back soon for them. I got so excited again. I said, when are you coming back? He said, I can't tell you that. Then I wanted to wander around more, but it wasn't my time to see the rest of the family. He told me I had many family from my mom's side, my dad's side, and I was so excited. I was saying, who is it? I goes, I want to see them. I want to go meet them. But he wouldn't let me. Then when we started walking again, I heard my dad praying. And when the prayers were going up into heaven, 2 angels were flying around, gathering all the prayers, and all the prayers that go to heaven. They were on tablets just like what Moses had on his 10 Commandments. And these prayers had wings, and one just about fell. Then the angel flew quickly and grabbed it before it fell on the floor. Then I heard my dad stop praying. Then when he was finished, then these 2 angels were so happy. They had their prayers. Then they handed it to Jesus. They were carrying it, and they passed it to him. Then Jesus was so happy. He was going through the whole thing. He said, yes, I'm going to answer this. I'm going to answer this. I'm going to answer all these prayers. I said, okay. Then before he sent me back, he was telling me that he's preparing a place already for me and my family. Then he sent me back to earth here for a second chance and gave me back my life. When the doctor seen that I started coming through, he pulled up his chair right away and asked me, he goes, did you dream anything? Did you go anywhere? Did you see anything? And I felt so peaceful after being up there. And I looked at him and I said, why would I think I'm somewhere else or dream that I've been somewhere? He goes, well, sometimes some people go through this and say they've been to different places and they've been past the moon and they've been to different places. And I told him, I said, no. I said, I didn't go anywhere. I wanted to tell him, but I just felt so overwhelmed with God's love. Then they put me up in the room, up in the hospital, up on the floor in the terrace. Then while I was laying down resting, I was hooked up to 2 IVs by how much I lost, one in my right arm, one in my left arm, from all the blood loss and all the poison in my blood. Then the nurses thought I was resting, and they were saying that the doctor wouldn't give up on me when I died on the operating table. He kept working and working on me until I started breathing. They said I lost so much blood on the table. I just thank God that he sent me back. Then just right when I was getting ready for bed, I went to go lay back down. I told that nurse I was going to bed. She said, okay. She goes, I'll close the door so you can get your sleep. So she closed the door and nobody was in the room. Then 2 angels showed up in my room at the foot of my bed. One had a really bright white clipboard, and he said, it's time to assist her. So that second angel said, okay, and he walked up to my machine that I was hooked up to. He laid his hand on it and he put his anointing in there. Then after that, then they just disappeared and left. The next day, I got up and I was able to walk around a bit better, and I was able to breathe okay, but I wasn't breathing that good. I got to shower and get dressed all by myself, and I was walking around in the hospital with my mom. Then the doctor came and he's seen that, and he's saying how good I looked compared to my condition from the surgery. And he had tears in his eyes, and he was choked up and was asking how I feel. I told him, I said, I feel really good. I told him that I felt good. Then that was it, then I ended back up here in Rupert again.
Love you, Angel.
Glory goes to